Welcome to the Empowering Industry Podcast.
Thank you.
Is Sushma, I have not met you before, but I'm really excited to dive in and get to know you. And so we're going to start with just interviewing you and kind of telling our audience who you are and what you do.
Well, thanks. I'm a global data leader in the energy industry, and I'm currently serving as director of Ikon Science in a non-executive capacity, and which is a leading global provider of geoprediction and open subsurface knowledge management software and services to the energy industry. And prior to joining Ikon Science, I spent 30 years with Shell Oil, most recently as chief data officer for Subsurface and Wells, where I developed business data strategies. At Shell, I helped to implement integrated global data improvements, resulting in millions of dollars in cost savings and valued outcomes in wells, reservoirs, and facility management. We call it WRFM. In my current role with Ikon Science, I leverage my data and insights to support the company's data services and software offerings.
Wonderful. And I did take the liberty to kind of look you up on LinkedIn and really kind of try to learn a little bit more about you. But I'm really interested to know about your work that you do with SBE. And could you tell us a little bit about your work there?
Yeah, I joined Society of Petroleum Engineers primarily to learn and understand the industry needs, and this was more than a decade ago. But then later on, after presenting papers and being just a participant, I got involved in SPE's Data Science and Engineering board. So I have served on the board in digital energy technical section, and then later on as the chair of the digital transformation team. And currently, I'm seeing I might have a role to chair the technical section um, for the data science, engineering, analytics. Again, it's a huge platform to share how digital transformation takes place in the industry. Enhance data sciences and help develop new talent.
Yeah, and that's really what I want to talk to you about today is the digital transformation and how that's impacting the oil and gas industry as a whole.
Yes, oil and gas operators face increasing pressures to become more efficient and environmentally sustainable, saving human resources, getting smarter at capital investments, knowledge preservation, risk management. They are all the more critical than it has ever been before.
Mm.
So, leveraging new ways to break down the silos that exist within companies so that right data and knowledge have the greatest impact on decision making is really essential for success as the industry transforms itself. And the oil and gas industry, it's really at an inflection point, making it necessary for operators to reinvent their business, to focus on efficiency first and foremost. They're amidst a rapidly shrinking pool of experts. And there's a huge global imperative towards carbon neutral energy solutions. And technologically, transformation is really essential to succeed in taking the desired leap forward. The companies that are most proactive in effectively adopting digital transformation to permanently change the way their business operates are the ones who are going to come on the top. And if we look at, in the early 80s, we had oil and gas companies, starting to adopt digital technologies. Digital was a common word at then also. And there was a focus to better understand reservoirs, resources, production potential, how do we improve health and safety, and definitely boosting marginal, operational efficiencies in the oil fields around the world. And what's followed was really a wave of digital oil field initiatives that swept through the most of the industry in the last 3 decades. And while oil and gas companies are data rich, they have volumes of data, the efficient manage and use of data has not kept up and has left most of this data siloed. It's not accessible by team members who need to make very informed collective decisions, rapid decisions.
Mhm.
So there's a huge opportunity. And as an example, Icons, one of the newest solutions, Curate, it really enables companies to unlock any of these types of data silos. Bringing the disciplines together. So you can have geologists, geophysicists, petrophysicists all coming together. And this is really to access it and to accelerate exploration, to minimize portfolio risks, optimize production, and so forth. And this allows the companies to achieve greater results. So really, we are at the turning point where we can maximize value from data and digital and meet companies imperative goals in getting the business value.
Okay. And so if there is one thing that these companies need to know about digital transformation, what do they really need to know?
Is right now. It's it's at a pivot time, where in order to maintain growth and to survive in the future, business faces really a sizable challenge to find innovative solutions that can maximize productivity. And while you're controlling, the rising cost, you're also promoting long-term business viability. So true digital transformation is the only way to make this happen. And the companies that actively embrace and manage digital transformation will make their businesses more smarter. They'll be more efficient and more profitable. We see other industries doing that very well. So, but certain fundamentals, I believe, are being ignored. When embarking on digital transformation, first and foremost, it is, to leverage the data for decision making, and it has to be identified, it has to be vetted, it has to be quality assured. So, doing that requires, assistance of data experts, and you need a solid foundation before you embark on that journey.
Yeah, and so I came from really helping people in the industry with social media before social media was cool. And so I see how the adoption is slow many times with anything that's new to our industry. And definitely I can see the parallel there with all this connected activity or technology that's out there. And so I just I'm curious and I'm hopeful that it's not going to take 10 years. That's about how long I've been doing this for my own company. But what does the future look like for oil and gas?
Well, oil and gas has an important role to play in the whole energy mix. With the recent crisis we see in the geopolitical, also there's a huge need for energy supplies. So it has never been more crucial for oil and gas companies to drill smarter, safer, and with less capital investments. With the right human resources. And digital transformation is what makes that possible. So, enabling access to and utilization of all the rich data that's held within an organization, especially critical now because it redefines how the industry approaches the entire oil field life cycle from early appraisal all the way to decommissioning, and in a more sustainable manner, and it's driven by carbon neutral objectives, minimizing the carbon footprint, and also mounting shareholder pressures for operators to be efficient and scalable as possible. So there are a lot of market pressures driving for shifting demand. There's identifying, previously missed zones of pay, and accurately predicting and planning for negative drilling events before they occur, and also to free up millions of capex budget and dramatically increase ROI.
So, just I guess just as we've been talking, is there anything that maybe we're not touching on here for digital to add to this, or kind of leave our listeners with?
Well, I just want to mention that I really enjoy mentoring and guiding professional women and colleagues across the industry, and I've played an active role in advancing sharing of knowledge. That's why I've been very active in SPEs, and I'm an advisor in the data science and engineering analytics, and going to join the chair of technical section, also advisor at Rice University's the Professional Science Masters Board. What I really want to leave with is, I would highly encourage, professional women, also the upcoming talent, to get involved in data science, either directly or as an add-on to their disciplines, and help drive business value from data and digitalization.
Thank you for that. That was the question. I was going to see if you had anything else, but I wanted to know how you did support women in the industry because I'd love to see a successful woman in the oil and gas industry. It's definitely something that makes us happy here, and especially with empowering women in industry. We learn from you. We learn and also have role models by your example. So thank you for doing that. And I would love to get you more in our mentorship circles as well to just be able to share there. But thank you for your time today and just
Absolutely.
joining us and kind of shining that light on digital transformation in the oil and gas industry. I think we need to be on board and we need to share this more and more. So I appreciate you coming on today.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.